All right, what's up, YouTube? So I want to talk today about something that I still hear kind of from time to time, whether it's classes or online or training with other people, whatever the case may be. I still hear people say like, hey, that mistake, I did that mistake because I was going too fast. Like the speed gets blamed for the mistake. And a couple things with this. So first, in my opinion, could only speed cause the mistake? No. Could speed cause you to do something weird because you're uncomfortable going at that pace? Yes. However, if that's the case, then we can't necessarily say, well, I was just going too fast and I made that mistake. Because you can make mistakes going slow. They're just not as perceivable because maybe you're comfortable going at that pace, but you're still making mistakes. Or maybe you are comfortable going at that pace, but you still make mistakes. So I don't believe that you can necessarily say, nope, I am just going too fast. That's why that one thing happened. Good example of this might be like someone says, hey, I missed because I was going too fast, and because they were going too fast and they felt uncomfortable, they did something like, shove on the gun and, try to over return the gun, and they dropped a bullet into the no shoot, whatever. And then on the next run, they just completely slow down to get their hits. And then they go, see, like I went slower and that's a good result. And it's like, nope, that's not what we're after here, right? So I think the interesting thing about this in training is kind of not only the mindset of what you should be thinking in terms of the speed, but like what you should feel when you're actually trying to go at like an exploratory type of pace where you are trying to inoculate yourself to speed. So I think, instead of slowing down to get your hits, I don't think that's a viable option for training. I think, going at a pace where you feel uncomfortable, like very, very good. And I say at a pace that you feel uncomfortable because you should be able to articulate why mistakes happened. Again, it's not the speed per se. It's like you did something on the gun to miss, to make some sort of mistake. And it's like, yes, you did it because you felt uncomfortable because of how fast you're going. However, identify the actual mistake, be it, push on the gun, stare at the dot. I don't care whatever mistake you made, that's the mistake that needs to get identified. Not so much like, oh, I just went too fast. So with that, it's like you go at a pace that feels uncomfortable. And I say uncomfortable because it's not one that like you can't see what's happening, but it's happening at a pace where like you can't make any sort of changes in the moment, right? Like you should be able to articulate to yourself why things happened. Whether you pushed on the gun, it's like, yep, I saw myself and I felt myself like hand clamped up on the gun, push the gun into the no shoot. And then from there, it should be a matter of like, all right, I saw that happen. Or maybe you saw it happen a couple times. Maybe you have like an ongoing trend here where at this particular pace on, this target, like you push on the gun and drop one into the hardcover. It's like, all right, if you have that trend, you start attacking the trend, not the speed. So I would recommend like, nope, keep going at that pace, because if you slow down, the same exact things are going to happen, just slower. So it's like even worse, right? So you identify the issue and you keep going at that pace and trying to make changes at that particular pace. This to me is training. And this to me is like, this is the type of stuff that you will hammer on forever and ever and ever without some sort of end state. It's just like, you just keep going on this and there's no end in sight, right? And I think what you guys will find is when you start making changes at speed, if you did this like consecutively, maybe, I don't know, 2-3 times a week you shoot and train, and you did this 2 to 3 times a week and you go at this kind of uncomfortable pace, I think what you'll find is at the end of the month, just as an example, at the end of the month, I think what you find is that pace that felt uncomfortable at the beginning of the month is no longer uncomfortable. And what will happen is it'll kind of open up your bandwidth to be able to see and process a little bit easier at faster paces. Therefore, it's like, all right, let me step on the gas like 10% more. And now I'm at an even more uncomfortable pace. Whereas like last month, if I went at this pace, I wouldn't be able to see shit. So, again, I think, saying that you missed or you made a mistake because of the speed, it is not really correct. And trying to address it just by slowing down, I think is only hindering your performance. So that's what I got on the whole slow down thing in your training. Please let me know if you have any questions.